So I am very happy. I do think the analogy for what's happening right now is 1980. But look, I would start by saying it's not just Donald Trump, but Trump's victory is part of it. But I think below that are two other things. So one is just in the election generally, there was, as you know, a dramatic shift to the right across broad swaths of the population. By the way, including in California. And one of the stories that hasn't, fully been, I think, realized is the extent to which, number one, a lot of actually counties, districts in California actually went red this time, including some that hadn't been red in, I think, 30 years. And then the other is just like even in places like San Francisco, there was a pretty significant vote shift. And then the youth vote, is I think maybe the single biggest part of what happened, which is the kids are not, the kids are changing. So that's happening. But and then I would say even beyond that, even beyond the partisan politics of it, it feels like the last decade has been a very, I would say, emotionally dark and sort of repressive time. And you have talked about and written about many aspects of that. But we've certainly felt it. In many ways, Silicon Valley was on the vanguard of sort of the, what you might call sort of a soft authoritarian, kind of social revolution starting, about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And that sort of soft repressive authoritarianism, had a real negative impact on, basically my whole world, the tech industry, the country. And I think an entire generation of young people, and so it we'll see. It certainly feels like that's cracked. I'm getting all the I get all these little data points. I'm in the venture capital business, and so I get all these little data points on kind of things that are changing, from people in all these different industries. And like there's just so many little micro stories right now of like movie projects that were dead in the water in October that all of a sudden have come alive, or people who now think that they can write the book that they never thought they'd be able to write, and or comedians who think they can tell jokes that they couldn't tell. So there are all these little sparks, kind of firing all over the place, and people basically, essentially poking their head out of the, frozen tundra of the culture, and sort of realizing that it's actually okay to like laugh and play and have fun and build things, do things, hire on merit, celebrate success.